Hello. Apologies for my absence. I have been up to my eyeballs in uni work, but I literally submitted it all yesterday. I feel so free. So I'm going to be back uploading properly on both of my channels now. I will link my main channel in the description. I'm excited to be back uploading properly. It'll be good to have a proper upload schedule back. So today I've decided I'm going to do a very simple burnt hand look. So like, you know, like if you put your hand, I don't know, what are we putting a hand in? Hand on the oven, hand on like the fire, hand on the stove, that sort of vibe. So if we're doing a burnt hand look, you are going to need liquid latex, a paint palette to colour with. That's about it really, but if you want to make it more severe, you could have like some blood and maybe some like pus to put in it, like the yellowy stuff. Starting where we're going to start, of course, at the beginning, I'm going to use this SFX paint palette and I'm going to literally spray my colours with a bit of alcohol. It's just IPA to water down the colours a bit so they're not as painty. But the first thing that you need to do is establish your area of impact. So let's say I have like, I'm going to say that I've touched the stove. So when you touch the stove, like these parts of your hand go down first. I've just got paint on my arm. So it'll be these parts of the hand that need to be a little bit more red. So I'm literally going to take my red on my thingy and I'm literally just going to paint it on like this, and I'm going to start like dispersing it out. Obviously that's quite harsh. Again, like I said, you can water it down with some IPA. I'm just going to go in and do that and just make those areas quite red. I'm literally continuing to go in those areas with a bit of the IPA and just blending it out, watering it down to make it look more of a skin like coloury burn rather than like it's painted on. I just don't want it to look like too harsh. I'm literally going to keep blending it out with my finger as well. You just want to capture the areas that you think are going to be affected by this. I'm just bringing it up my fingers a little bit as well. I'm going to take my ring off. Okay, I think I'm quite happy with that. I think I need to add a little bit more red on my fingers because that doesn't look too red up there yet. Right, so I'm pretty happy with how that is looking. So that is the paint part done. So obviously this is how the hand would be if it's burnt, but we want to give it that like really shiny effect, you know, that like the blisters get, and then we're going to create like mini blisters with it as well. So to do that, I'm going to be using a liquid latex. I'm going to take a stiffly sponge and literally start stippling that just on the whole of my hand. We're going to do a couple of layers of this, just making sure that you get every bit. Try to get that first layer on as quick as possible so that you're not like pulling up the bits that are drying already. Okay, so this is the first layer. I'm gonna leave this to dry. So that first layer is dry and this is what it's looking like. It's looking quite nasty already, but I am gonna go in with a second layer of the latex. This just kind of makes a better base for what we're about to do next. So I'm literally going to go really fast because I don't want to pull it all up. Using this sponge adds a bit of like texture, burn and melted texture. So that's why I've used this sponge. What we're going to do next is like kind of rip up the latex and that sort of thing. So having a couple layers adds a better base for that because it doesn't work as well with like only one layer. I'm going to leave that to dry. Right, we're dry and this is what it's looking like. It's looking very melted. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a pair of tweezers and I'm literally going to start digging in those tweezers to areas and lifting it to make like blisters like this. I don't know if you can see that, like there. I'm gonna make some just with it lifted, and then some of them I'm gonna create like a hole in the middle like this. I'm gonna focus it on my hand. Okay, like right here. And then in that hole I'm going to put like red so that it's like, so it's kind of the effect that that's the area that some skin has come off. There we go, that's like a really open one. So then now that I've got like my blisters, it's looking pretty grim. What I'm going to do is I am going to take that same red that I was using and not water it down so much. I'm going to put a bit of purple in there as well. You kind of just need to make like quite a raw skin colour in the middle of these blisters to give the effect that like this is like your layer of skin that's come off. Like, look at that. A bit of brown adds quite a burn effect if you mix it in with the red as well. So that is what it's looking like at the minute. If you can leave it like this, or if you want to take it to the next level, you can add some blood and like some pus. So that's what I'm going to do, because obviously I'm not just going to leave it here. So here's like the pus thing that I've got. It's actually called Pustule Filler from Glyn McKay. I'm trying to open it and I can't do it. And this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bit of this on my brush and like, I don't know where I want to put it. Where do I want to put it? Down here. Like to give the really burnt, blistery look. That does add a lot of grimness. So I've got this Dark Blood by Ben Nye, which I'm going to start popping a bit on. So what I'm going to do is, it's quite a thick one, so I'm going to take that same like stipple sponge, dip a corner in it, and just kind of like stipple it into the middle of the blister things. So it's looking like this, like you can just see like the droplets of blood. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, so this is my final look. Okay, it's looking very sore, very melted skin, very grim, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it looks very grim. So yeah, this is really easy. It's definitely something you can try at home. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please remember to give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.